We lost the connection. I'm sorry, folks. I hope you tuned back in. I was just hi again. Sorry, we got cut off. Apparently, I had a connection issue with my internet because everyone's just got home and has gone on Netflix. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining again. We got cut off a few minutes ago, so I'm just going to wait for all 55 people to come back. No, I'm not going to wait. I was explaining about my friend who gave me this rashi, this beautiful rashi, who is the Diesel Diva. Her name is Beverly. She's gone to 73 countries, and she's a high security expert, martial artist, and she takes martial arts, especially mixed martial arts, and uses it as a form of peace in countries that have a lot of violence. She's the most amazing person. Her account is the Diesel Diva. I really recommend following her because she's absolutely an inspiration. 73 countries. I think I've been to 30. No, not 30. More like 20. I'm really sorry we got cut off before. Thanks for coming back, guys. There was an internet connection problem. I should have used that time to go get a beer. Wasted opportunity. Wasted. So I'm just doing the final polish on this beauty. Unfortunately, the sandpaper's getting gummed up pretty fast, so I'd bring you a bud if I could. You know me. Everyone was quite horrified yesterday to discover that my favorite beer is Budweiser, but not Bud Light. There is a difference. The difference is one is not beer. So I was saying before that I've recorded a 40-minute tutorial which I'm putting up on my YouTube channel, Samantha Swords. Yes, I'm still Samantha. People and a couple of people have been asking me, am I still Samantha? Yes, I'm still Samantha. I'm a guy called Samantha. Everyone can handle it, I think. I like my name. I've always been a guy. Same person. Nothing's changed. A few things are changing, but... It's so nice. I used to have a really nice C-axe. It was a Saxon. It was shorter than this. It was about this long, and I actually buried it with my dog who passed. Yeah, I'd had it for a long time, just like I'd had her for a long time. So, no more C-axe. She is buried. I was talking about Heidi before in the first video. Yes, I'm so much happier. I wasn't unhappy before. I just wasn't... I wasn't as grounded, and I wasn't myself as much, you know? You being a guy named Samantha is the biggest problem someone can find to be mad about. They should just be cool about it in gender and gender. Well, I mean, why the heck not? Really, why not? It's funny. I get hit up with Indian marketers quite often because there's a lot of weapons and armor stuff come out of India. And in India, Samantha is not a feminized name. So they frequently, over the years, have been like, "Dear sir," and I'm like, "This is nice." So, names and gender and everything, like... Honestly, if anyone has trouble with it, they should just stop gendering children with, like, super feminine or super masculine names. Go for something like Devon, or... I've got a lot of friends called Devon. They're really cool people. They're all cool people. Basically, name all your children Devon. Don't do that. Well, life's too short to let other people's opinion on gender matter. Yeah, but you also have to be pretty comfortable with yourself because it does matter. It does matter what people think of you. It's 1,000 cuts, you know, and sometimes it's too much. Like, it does matter what people think of you. It takes a while to get to the point where you're strong enough for it to not matter. And you still got to get there, you know? Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that. It's got this, like, milky quality to it. Thick skin. When people question me on mine, it took me a while to be able to respond with, "I've thought about my own gender more than you have." Yeah. Yeah. It's actually why I'm still fairly tolerant of people who haven't adjusted to this, is because it's not something, unless you're thinking about it, it's not something you think about. I mean, honestly, who sits and thinks about it without having, like, exposure to someone else who's been thinking about it? It's just something you kind of accept when you're going through life. You accept what people say, and it's not until you start to question it constructively and really, really, like, go through a process of self-examination. So much self-examination. It's exhausting. Yeah, it's an exhausting process. Gosh. I can actually see the hammer marks. I can see where the smith has hammered this. Hang on. I'm trying to get it into the light to reflect it. Come on. There's all these little divots in it, which I can see by looking down the blade. It's very subtle, like you'd have to be looking for it, but it's really cool. Yeah. Anyway, I can't show you, so I'm just gonna sit here staring at the knife. No, I really want that beer. Damn it. Yeah, no, it's lovely. It's it's a lovely finish. A problem I ran into before when I was cleaning it for the YouTube video was I was actually yeah, I could go get a beer, couldn't I? The problem I ran into was that the blackening was actually coming off and going into this, so I had to then clean it up, and it's taken off a wee bit of the blackening. Let's all have a beer, unless you're driving, in which case be responsible, don't drink. Yeah. I'm gonna get my steel wool to get into the back bit because it's actually too the right angle is making it too hard to get in there with the sandpaper. There's a wee bit of rust just at the neck. You see it? Like that tiny shadow. Oh, you guys are nice. Surrogate beer drinking. This is what the internet is about. Surrogate beer drinking and knives. Or specifically knife cleaning tutorials. Who has a sword? Who has swords? Let me know. I would love to hear. I'm really curious and still new to things and figuring it out, but what are common ways to start looking if you say you wanted a job with swordsmanship? If you wanted a job with swordsmanship. If you have a sword, put a sword in the comments. Like a little sword symbol. I want to see swords. If you have one sword, put one sword cross. If you have more than one sword cross. Yeah. Let's fill it up. If you wanted to have a job with swordsmanship, well, it's like anything that's unusual. Yay! We have a sword. Yay, more swords. It's like with anything that's kind of fringe or unusual. Yes, any swords. Any swords. They don't. It doesn't matter what the material is. Yay! More swords. If you have too many to emote, do it. Do it anyway, and put a little plus at the end. If you want to work in an industry that doesn't exist and you want to be able to work professionally, you basically have to treat it like you're an entrepreneur. So learn entrepreneurial skills, like who's going to pay you? Who's going to pay you to do the thing that you love? I'm laughing at you guys. Who's going to pay you to do swordsmanship? Like, if there's no opportunities, how do you create those opportunities? Who's excited about it? Like, find those people and connect with them. That's what I do. Find out how you can share what it is that you're passionate about with other people who don't know that they need it in their lives. It really just depends on how much risk you're prepared to take, really, to follow what it is that you want to do. I always encourage people to find out what it is that they love or be who they love, because that will give you the most energy and strength. Look at all these swords coming in. This is fantastic. Nice. Nice. It's going to happen. I'm going to horrify you. I'm going to go get this beer. Be right back. If anyone new joins whilst I'm not here and wonders what the heck is going on, would someone mind explaining to them? the horror. The horror. Cheers, guys. Oh, it's not going in there. At least not like this. The coffee is going in the plants. It's the real reason I have a shrubbery in my room. So that I can pour used coffee into it when I need to drink beer on a live stream. Cheers. Alright, work. It's a good thing I'm not being paid by the hour. Excellent. Have a great time forging, Dee. Make lots of beautiful things so that we can buy the beautiful things. Apparently Instagram is doing this new thing called Instagram TV. I have watched very little of it because I got hit with so many ads and I just wanted to watch things. My garden is partially sponsored by Starbucks coffee and you don't even drink their coffee. That's awesome. Urgh. These are very stubborn. I'm going to have to hit it harder. The problem is that I'm able to clean to about here, and then because it's resting on the table, I don't have that nice what's it called? Runoff. Yes, I've been to a Ren fair. I've been to more than one. I will say that my favorite Ren fair that I went to was the one in Wisconsin. I think it was in Wisconsin. It was just over the border between Wisconsin and Michigan. No, not Michigan. Hang on. Chicago. Wisconsin. Yes, it was Wisconsin. It was just over the border. Nice! Oh my goodness, that's impressive. I think you have outsorted me. Ah, that's good. Now I'm getting all those marks. I wasn't able to hit them before because I didn't have that full line. I just have to be careful that I don't change the angle on the cleaning too much. Even though this is a finer grit, the 600, it's still leaving little marks. So there we go. I will have to go shortly. If you're all wondering how long this is going to go on, because I have some exciting things in the works. Does it scare me to grip the blade like that? I don't know if you're here for the knife gripping example earlier. No, it doesn't scare me at all. I was saying, to those of you who were here earlier, I was explaining about how to deal with sharp swords and sharp blades or glass or anything. Basically, sharp things cut you when they move. They do not melt your skin like a lightsaber. They work through friction. So as long as there's no friction, there's no cutting. This is not a sharp, this is not a very sharp blade. I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted by these comments. This is hilarious. For sandpaper, 100, 120 and 600. Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm using. I don't think I'll go higher than a 600, partly because I don't have a lot of anything else, but also because the finish is actually quite nice. It's a lot better than it was, excuse me, when it came in. Oh, you can see it. There, look. See those divots? Those are from the forging process. Those are from the hammer. So that's actually really cool. Some blade makers enjoy leaving signs that it was hand forged. So it's not a bad thing. The stuff that I'm going to do, yeah, I generally don't tell people what I'm doing ahead of time. It's a habit that's come from working in the film industry. For you guys who were here for video 1, I talked extensively about the film industry because you had so many great questions. The byproduct of working in an industry where you're constantly under NDAs is that I'm in a habit now of not telling people what I'm going to do before I'm ready to do it. It's just something I stopped doing. And also, so many things fall through in the entertainment industry. Unless it's a theatre show, in which case, like, there's a very strong chance that theatre will be done, because it's a very inevitable process when you make a theatre show. But in film, that's amazing. It's a miracle that any film gets made at all, because the amount of freaking obstacles and chaos that is inherent to that industry. So many links in the chain that could break. And even when a film has been made, like, the marketing could fail, and then the whole thing, is a flop. Like, yeah, I've just stopped talking about what I'm doing, basically, until, like, usually years after I do it. It's kind of unusual to me when I do get to announce things that I'm doing ahead of time. And even then there's a little voice inside me that's like, what if it doesn't happen? So I need to get better about that, though, because, I mean, a lot of the people following me want to know what I'm doing. It's just kind of... I don't like saying I'm going to do something and then not doing it, I care quite a lot about keeping my word. Oh my god, Laurie. You! Have a beer. I had a very exciting adventure with my previous iPhone. The battery expanded. My poor phone was actually, like, bulging from the inside out. It was, like, bending the case. It was pushed the SIM card out of alignment. The charging station got nudged. Like, the whole thing was basically expanding out from the inside. It was quite horrendous, and I couldn't figure out what the problem was, because it looked just like the programmed problem where your battery runs down, because iPhones are pre-programmed to phase out after a couple years. So basically the battery was just, like, crashing all the time. It got to the point where it's like I actually couldn't leave the house without a battery pack with me, because my phone would last 45 minutes, if that. It was horrendous. Horrendous. It was unusable, essentially. And yeah, it was just a fault with the battery. I took it into the Apple store. I went and saw a Genius, and a Genius told me all the problems with my phone. I've just been tolerating this thing for ages, because the previous time that I sent my phone back, it was a bit of an ordeal, and I just didn't want to go through it again. It's like I'm so busy all the time. The last thing I want to do is deal with basic communications. That reminds me of something else I have to do tonight. Okay, I will wrap this up shortly, guys. I'm having a lot of fun. Damn, that's my mighty fine blade. Well, I still like Apple. Yes, it does. Mortal Engines. That was actually being made the year that I started in film. And it's been 10 years. What did you miss? You just got off work. You missed a lot of ridiculous things. I'm not going to recap it. But, I mean, you guys in the comments can tell Cly what he missed. Especially if you're here since the first video. But yeah, Mortal Engines is looking fantastic. It's based on the amazing book series that's set 1,000 years in the future, and it's about cities that have mobilized because the whole of Earth was devastated by the 12-minute war. I think it was 12-minute war. Yeah, basically a nuclear war that devastated the Earth, and all of the cities got put on wheels and became like these mobilized engines of like roaming around looking for resources. And yeah, me too. I'm so excited about it. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Because I saw those designs like at the very, very beginning. All these amazing, amazing, amazing environments, like miniatures and stuff. And it looks like they've still used a lot of those original designs. But yeah, the book starts with something like the city of London was roaming the plains and looking for a small it was chasing a small town or something, and the idea is that these cities will catch a town and then basically repurpose everything that's in that town. Like the people get absorbed into the town or city that catches them, and all of the stuff gets broken down into being part of the big machine that caught them. It's super cool. Really great story, very, very interesting premise, great adventure, great hero, great heroine. Hey, thanks for joining. So Mortal Engines, check it out. That's my people from Weta who did that. Yeah, I'm so proud of them. So I will wrap this up because I have things with a capital T to do. Thanks so much, you guys, for being part of this 2-day Instagram TV extraordinaire of learning how to clean up beautiful blades that were not so beautiful. Hit me up if you have any questions after this video, or if you have any ideas for anything you'd like to see. And yeah, just have a great night. Keep doing what you're doing. Insert wrap up here. I don't know. Drink beer. Be happy. Bye, guys. Oh no, I reversed it. This is hilarious.